Welcome to the Rotary Club of Bearden. Looks like half the room's empty, or is it just half the room's full? I don't know. Whichever, but welcome. And if you would, please silence your cell phones or any electronic devices.
Does that include pagers?
It does. Pagers, cell phone, tablets, whatever. Printers. Haynes Smith has our song and pledge today. Haynes?
Get out and look, say a word, everybody. Let's say God bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, like the foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Haynes. Jerry Riccardi has our invocation, but before we start with that, I'd like for us to include Oliver and Bob Ely in our prayers. Oliver is, I've set a couple of cards out on the tables and passing them around. If you would, please sign. He's having heart surgery at Duke University Hospital in the first week of May, and will be out for a while longer, but please keep him in your prayers. And Bob Ely is, Dottie's really she's really taken care of the man. He's had a little trouble with breathing this week and trouble with his treatment, but he's strong. He sure wanted to be here today. He would be here today if it wasn't for a doctor's appointment. So if you would, please keep Bob and Oliver in your prayers. And Gary, if you would, please lead us in the invocation. I appreciate it.
Lord, we thank you for our food. Thank you for our fellowship. There are a lot of problems in the world, one of which is eradication of polio. 2 countries left, Pakistan and Afghanistan. They've decided to work together to try to eliminate polio there. There's still forces that are against it. They attacked and killed 15 policemen that were escorting caregivers. So Lord, please protect them. Let them get the vaccines out, and let us stop this terrible plague that the world has endured for years. And please bless all the fine works that Rotary does, and with your help, we'll continue. Amen.
Thank you, Gary. And Andy Circle has our guests and visitors today.
Let's see, it looks like we just have one visitor on Terry and Bill Forbes from downtown. Is there anybody else that has a visitor? Yes.
And welcome, Bill. Ed Campbell has our humor today.
Well, there's nobody here to laugh at my joke. That may be the problem. Well, since the prayer was relatively short, I got 2 here. One of them, guy's standing on the scale and he's sucking it in. His wife looks at him and says, "That's not going to work." She says, "Sure it will. It allows me to see the numbers." Navy guys on a ship, and this you know, the incident up there in the tower, and gets a call from home, and it's Sailor Smith's mother died, and so he gets on the horn and says, "Hey Smith, your mom died." And he puts it down, and of course he goes nuts. He goes jumping off the ship, and that's the end of it. And so the captain comes in. "You can't do that. You've got to have tact. You've got to do these things delicately." And so, you know, a week or so later, another call comes in, and so he says, "All hands on deck, all hands on deck." They all come up there, and he says, "Well, all the sailors who still have their mothers alive at home, please step forward." "Not so fast, Smith."
All right. I think that's the first we had a symbol, put an exclamation point on our humor. Well done. Haynes has no Mr. Smith today. Dick Hinton, would you please, I see you just got a mouthful, so would you please update us on Pond Gap while you're chewing there, buddy? Sorry about that.
That's all right. We had a full complement of readers today. Who read Pond Gap today? 1, 2, and the third was Rosa, and I did. So thank you to the Rotary readers. Last week is the last week we're going to read, and we are all full for next week. So thank all of you for what you've done this year. It's been a great year.
What a great program. Thanks a lot, Dick. Appreciate that. And Dick's I'm going to be out the next couple of weeks. Next week, district conference up at Margaritaville. Got to go up there. Probably have margaritas for lunch. But Dick's going to cover it, and then the following week I'm out of town. So, Dick, please don't make it so good where they throw tomatoes at me when I get back. How about an update on Mobile Mills? I didn't see Janice today. Yeah.
I
Right.
delivered today, and I think she's delivering tomorrow.
Okay, what, you got
I'm
8
tomorrow.
days off? Oh, next week. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Tom, I think someone said a couple of weeks ago that Hazel Lamb had passed away.
No,
But
that was a while back.
That was-
Okay,
That was a rumor.
okay, so she was very much alive when I saw her 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well, that's good to hear.
Not so
But,
fast.
yeah. Well, that's one of the benefits of Mobile Mills. We get to check on some friends and some elderly perhaps, and help out in that regard as well. Well, with that, Dr. Jim Katsianis is going to introduce our guest speaker today. So, Jim, you got the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. See, our guest speaker today is a Knoxville native who began his career in media in 1981 at WBIR. He's a graduate of Fulton High School and the University of Tennessee. If you attend games in Neyland Stadium or Thompson Bowling or watch high school football on TV on Thursday nights, you've seen his work on the screen. He's a 2-time Emmy Award-winning director whose credits include productions for ABC, ESPN, and the SEC Network, and NBC and Fox as well. Also, local and regional commercials for hundreds of clients are produced by our speaker. He'll soon be working with Dolly Parton on a variety show that will air this summer on the Hallmark Channel, so look out for that. When he's not working on television, he loves teaching small business owners how to use video to tell their own stories through his company, Be Media Savvy. He shows them how to take the technology they already own and create marketing messages for little or no extra investment in video equipment. So please welcome our speaker today, Tim Petrie from Be Media Savvy.
Thank you, Doc. Thanks for the invitation and for the introduction. I appreciate that. Thank you for the opportunity to be here
with you and join you for lunch. And also just want to, before I start anything else, to say thank you, Rotary Club, for all that you do for our community. And one of the first things that I did, before, right after confirming today's date, was I went to your website because I wanted to find out more about you and also how my presentation today could best serve you. So what could I share to help you today? And of course, being a video guy, I was really excited to see this, that you had videos on your webpage. So I thought, I'll check that out. So I watched your videos, and I watched some Coach Majors and Leroy Thompson and Tom Baker, etc. And so I'm just curious, since you started putting the videos, and Nathan, thank you, and anyone else who's contributing to that, since you started putting those videos on your website or putting on your YouTube channel, what kind of benefits have you seen? Are you getting feedback? How's it working for you, like Dr. Phil might say?
We don't know.
Okay. You don't? Okay. And that is an honest answer. That is an honest answer.
Charlie, if Leo were here, he might disagree, but that's,
Yeah.
We don't know. Charlie, is Charlie here?
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, we've allowed members to treat watching one of those videos as a makeup, and we've had a number of people over the last month or so who've been doing that. So
Perfect.
we've had 5 or 6 makeups, and the feedback in the messages that we get on those is that they, like you, they've appreciated seeing them. They feel like it connects them to the club even though they couldn't be here, and they're glad we're doing it.
That's a great way to keep your members engaged in times when they have to be away, either for work or travel or illness or whatever. I think that's great. I think it's wonderful. The other thing that I would look for is if there are people who are prospects who you would like to enroll and bring into your fold here in the Rotary Club, send them to the YouTube channel. Say, hey, look, this is a great way to see what our meeting is like without you needing to make that time commitment. And it might help you feel a lot more comfortable when you do make the time commitment to come and attend. So I think that's great. Anything that you can do when you can increase your visibility and credibility online, that leads to profitability. And it's good for our organizations, it's good for our service clubs, it's certainly good for business. And so with that, I got to ask you a question. Did anybody go into business thinking, man, I want to remain anonymous for the rest of my life? No one wants to remain anonymous, right? But who goes into business thinking, I want everybody to know about my business? Yes or yes? I would like to serve more customers. Yes or yes? Yes. Would you like to make Knoxville and the rest of the world a better place? Yes or yes? Absolutely. So this is how I've decided that I want to serve you today. I want to serve you today by sharing my experience in media and business to help you grow so that you have more resources to do more good for Knoxville. Now here's why I think that I can help you. You got to flash back a little bit, just a little bit about me real fast. Like Dr. Jim said, I'm a Knoxville native. I graduated from Fulton High School and the University of Tennessee. And after I finished my degree, I moved to Nashville. Yeah, there it is, Nashville. Quick story, I went out there in 1988. It was right before my daughter was born. And after working there about a year, I was doing a program for the United Cerebral Palsy Telethon. It's one of those weekend shows similar to the Jerry Lewis Telethon for muscular dystrophy. This is one that raised money for folks who have cerebral palsy, which is a lifelong condition. You never recover from it, but you learn to adapt. And so they need lots of money to buy adaptive devices for people to live with cerebral palsy. And when you're in Nashville, people will show up and they will entertain for nothing because they're looking for exposure. They want that break. They want to be on TV in Nashville and hope to be discovered. Well, it's Sunday afternoon. We've been on the air for several hours. We're within our last couple of hours of the broadcast. We're getting near the end. There's a lot of excitement in the room, and everybody's ramped up. We're getting close to reaching our goal on the tote board, and we kick it over to this guy who had just signed a $500 record deal, which is like pennies. He just signed a $500 record deal with Capitol Records. He said, here he is, and he's got this song that he wrote all by himself, and he's going to sing it for you now. And I cut to camera 2 to a cowboy sitting on a stool with a guitar on his knee, and he's singing the longest, slowest, sappiest country ballad you've ever heard, and I am dying. because just the life in the room was just being sucked out. And I'm telling him, you know, now he can't hear me, but I'm talking on the headset to all my camera operators, and I'm saying, gosh, this guy is killing me. Go back to punching cows because you're never going to make it in this town. You know what he's singing? If tomorrow never comes. It was Garth Brooks before anybody knew who Garth Brooks was. So that shows you my ability to recognize talent. But long story short, to bring that back around, a year later, after Garth Brooks had Friends in Low Places hit radio and he made millions, you know what he did the next year for that telethon? He didn't sing for free. We couldn't pay him enough to come sing. But he walked in, he took a look at the tote board. We had $300,000 on the tote board. He says, you all took a chance on me last year when I was nobody. I will match 10% of that tote board. And he wrote a live personal check for $30,000 as a thank you. That's, you know, that's doing good for the resources. That's doing good for the community, being a good steward of the resources you're blessed with. So I left Nashville and I came back home about 20 years ago. And I worked at Greystone at WATE Channel 6, the ABC affiliate. Other things that I've done since I've been back here in Knoxville, in 1999, University of Tennessee installed the Jumbotron stadium there, or the Jumbotron screen at Neyland Stadium. A good friend of mine, Russ Manning, who has been involved with UT Athletics and broadcasting for 30 years or more, is the director for the Jumbotron in Neyland Stadium. But that first game, Russ had back surgery and was recovering from it. And I got a call on Tuesday that says, hey, Russ is not getting well fast enough. Will you come in and do this Saturday game? So I got to do the very first game in Neyland Stadium, the first football game. Tennessee beat Wyoming like 42-17, something like that. Then I never did a game again. Russ did it for 17 years. And Russ retired this past fall. We gave him a great send-off, and he's done a great job of just enhancing your experience in Neyland Stadium when you go to watch the Vols play football. So Russ retired. I did the spring game last weekend, the orange and white game. That's the second game that I've done. And then I'll pick it up this fall and continue to do football, basketball, etc. So those are just a few of the things that I've done. And then about 3 years ago, my wife and I opened up a company that we call Be Media Savvy. And like Dr. Jid says, I teach small business owners to use the technology that you own. You already have it. Let's put it to work as a marketing machine for you. And so that's a little bit about me. Now, I come from 30 years of TV. I love TV, obviously. I love video. But for a long time, advertising on TV was about the only way that you could get video in front of a prospect or a customer. What's the toughest thing about advertising on TV? Budgets. Yeah, it's expensive. It is expensive and sometimes cost prohibitive for many to advertise on TV. And if truth be told, it's probably also wasteful spending in advertising dollars for some. Not all, but for some. And so, now there's video on the web, that's really changing the game. I want you to look at a few of these statistics. 3 billion videos served on Facebook. 980 million users worldwide. YouTube uploads, or YouTube users upload 500 hours of fresh video content every minute. You will never exhaust the library of video that is on YouTube. You never will. And then finally, Cisco, they're the people that are kind of like the backbone of the infrastructure for the World Wide Web. They say that 85% of U.S. web traffic, 85% of people on the web in America are watching videos. And I love this little statistic. Web accessible devices are going to outnumber the world population 3 to 1. Who has more than 1 or 2 devices you connect to the web? Right? Yeah, so it just proves it out already. It's already penetrated to that level in this room. And I'm assuming we're all business executives of some sort. So it's just getting there. It's just going there. So the question is, how can you get in front of this trend and make the most of it? All right, everybody dip into your pocket or your purse. Pull out your cell phone. All right, hold it up.
Can we turn it on?
No, you can't turn it on.
Sound down.
All right, yeah, while you're holding it up, make sure the sound is down. All right, you hold in your hands better video equipment than I had when I started my career in media 35 years ago. Right here, this is already better equipment than I had when I started in 1981. Better that, it weighs about 30 pounds less than what I used to lug around. It has a much better camera, high definition video, it has much better audio, and then on top of that, it is its own transmitter and receiver. Think about that. With your smartphone, you have the video camera, you have the microphone, you record it, you have the app to share it to social media, and then someone else who has a similar device in their pocket uses their phone with an app to watch what you just shared. We are our own television networks, are we not? In fact, YouTube, if it were a television network, would have more viewers than any cable network in the U.S. That includes ESPN, CNN, Fox News, you name it. More people watch things on YouTube than they watch on cable in the U.S. So the question is, if you have this, and you can put video out there of any type that you like, what should you put out there? Well, in the first few years of YouTube, people did this. It was cat videos.